I'm so used to being behind the camera that it's super weird to be in front of the camera. So I write a blog, and it's mostly about parenting and relationships and single parenting and parenting, kids. Yeah. And recently someone told me that they thought that I should maybe start doing some videos, some vlogs to sort of coincide with my blog, because not enough of me, I guess. I feel like I've always been better at putting into words what I want to say, but that's because I've been able to have the time to think about it, and this is definitely a lot scarier. But I decided that this was kind of the perfect one to do, because I just wrote a blog about how that saying that it takes a village to help you raise your kids. And I really, truly believe that. And as much as that village isn't necessarily upstairs with you and, you've got a baby screaming in the middle of the night, they are definitely my village anyway. My community are around in ways that I can't even describe here in this video. It would take too long. But I read an article this weekend on cbc.ca, and it was talking about co-parenting between people, singles, that are not actually couples. And the article was focused on a guy and a girl. He's gay and she's straight, and they decided to co-parent because they either weren't meeting someone that they thought was going to settle down. They weren't in a relationship, and for lack of a better word, I guess they thought time was sort of ticking. And they met. I don't think they were friends first. I think that they met sort of on this site, and a site for people that want to co-parent. And when I read it, it didn't occur to me that it was. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was that, strange, let's say, for lack of a better word. Only because, in this household, the thing that we always say is that every family looks different. And that is a saying that we have because of our personal situation. My ex-husband lives in a different province with his other family, and it's not that he's not in their lives, he's just not in their day-to-day lives. So when I talk about my version of co-parenting, really, and this is not to discredit him, but it really speaks to the people that are with us and around us sort of on a day-to-day basis. And I have one of my dearest friends is a single dad, and he's got 2 boys, and I mean, we text all day long, and we are in constant communication with each other, because it makes you feel a little bit more sane when you've got somebody just even to bounce something off of. So, and then I've got my my best friend, and our daughters are best friends, and one text out because I'm losing my mind, and she's right there with me to make me feel better. And I have single friends that don't have kids, that are 100% helping me parent my girls. So I guess when I read the article, I thought, yeah, that seems totally normal, that I would see that you would do that. I don't see any negative to it. I'm sure that, anyone that would think that that was not a good idea for the children or the child would be because, it's not usual, I suppose, but I don't think there is any usual family structure nowadays. I'm trying to think of the negative. I mean, I guess a child traveling between 2 homes. Well, that happens in divorce. And quite honestly, these 2 people who are choosing to not be a couple, very likely, there's not going to be any kind of maybe former animosities or anger that would come from having been in a relationship. I mean, I'm just now guessing. I don't know. So I would imagine that, they don't have to deal with sort of, and especially this couple. I think this couple in particular, because he's gay and she's straight. When I thought about that, this friend of mine who is a single dad, and he calls me wife, and we definitely joke about being a big family unit, and everyone loves the idea of it, the Brady Bunch, what have you. But you know, I always think about how maybe weird it would be if he were to start dating somebody or you know, vice versa. But this couple in this article, they don't have that issue because they don't want to be together. I feel like there are just people in this world that just really, you know, have that real deep desire to be a parent, and they just want that in their lives. And so it's kind of just, you know, taking the situation into your own hands. And my goodness, we do that with almost everything else in our lives. Like, you know, we're a very strong sort of generation of people that if we want something, we just kind of do it, and we're not sort of waiting for someone to tell us that it's okay. And I'm trying to think of what the negative of this situation is, and I really just can't. I only see it really as a good thing, and I think it's kind of great. And I think that they made a decision, and this little person will be so loved because they both wanted a child so badly. And I guess the trickiest thing would be figuring out how you want to raise a child before, I mean, you know, any other couple does that as well. Do you talk about how you want to raise your kid, how you're going to discipline your kid, all those things that, you know, ends up being arguments later down the road? That would be something that they would have to do, especially with these two, because they were, I guess, you know, virtual strangers before they decided to do this. I think if you were choosing to co-parent with a friend, you know, it might be a little bit easier to do that because you know each other, and you probably have similar ethics and similar morals. And yeah, I wonder how much they argue. Be curious to find out how much these two argue, if they do. Huh. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I think I just rambled. I don't think I really said anything concrete at all, except that I do believe that every family looks different, and I think that's amazing. You know, we feel very lucky in this house that we have so many people that we can rely on and that we can count on as our many co-parents of the world. I say have at it, and I think that it's kind of cool, actually. So, yeah. Well, I'm almost done. I was sort of done. Okay. So, Queen of Hearts, and this one. So, yeah.
Wait, I need to go get
Mommy was talking about all the people that helped me raise you guys, like all the people that helped me. Like, who are some of our, well, we don't have to name names, but do you guys feel like that? Like that, you know, Mommy has a lot of help?
Yep.
Can you go get a Kleenex? Yes. Do you feel like I have a lot of help?
Yep.
Like, what kinds of things? What are the things that you feel like people...
When you went to Los Angeles, Miss Heather came.
That's true, right. So when I go away, people help out. Mm-hmm. What are other things, like, never mind just, like, taking care of you. What are other things that people do?
When Izzy was sick, Miss Sheila drove me to school.
Yeah. When Mommy's away and someone else is taking care of you, is it the same thing?
No.
No?
No.
No, of course not. Any other little things that feel...
Drive me to school.
us.
Yeah.
Have us over for sleepovers when you go out.
Yeah,
Like
that's fun.
play dates.
Play dates is fun. Yeah.
Like when we're at Silly Max's YouTube talk.
Yeah. That's true.
We play.
Yeah. Who's the best mom? Thanks for being in my video.
Welcome.
What does it say?
This is just a regular Monday.
If you hold it on your tongue for a long time, it will print the word.
Would it?
Mhm.
I don't know about that. I
What
think it
does
just
that
goes away.
say?
No,
Let's
it works.
kiss.
It works for me.
No.
Nope.